We got to pet their teeth with our face.
Yeah, when we're doing that fight, I was like, there's something I'm missing with Moonbeam, because something Mark said. And then I remembered, oh yeah, shapeshifted creatures turn back to their normal state when they're in a Moonbeam. Or at least if they fail at it. I forget if they fail or it just happens, so... When those werewolves got hit by it, they should have turned back into people, but they moved right out of it afterwards, so it didn't really affect much, but... So that's a
I
good way
wonder
to...
if
It's a good way to find out which ones the werewolves are, though.
I wonder if it's simply just walking through it, or do you have to take damage?
I
Because
forget. Well, it's always half damage, but I wonder if you have to if you succeed or not.
yeah, I got the when you talked about that, I got the idea of like somebody using it as like a uh like a metal detector kind of
Yeah.
thing at the entrance of something, just a moonbeam just sitting at an entryway, and you have to hurry through it, and it fades away
Well,
any
it's weird
any
because in
survivor.
this version of it, you don't take damage till your turn starts, so you can technically move through it and nothing happens. I think in the 2024 rules is
Yeah.
the first time you enter it, it does damage. But in Phil's Vecna game, we were in a temple with werewolves in it, and I was looking at Moonbeam. I was like, oh, I can maybe make this terrifying werewolf turn back into a human. And I said, can I do that? It's like, what would happen if I do that? And like Phil said, nothing would happen. But I'm like, well, it says this, but I was like, well, it's we're there in like super red moonlight. Like I think they're kind of
Yeah.
cursed like that. I was like, okay, fair enough.
I mentioned this last time, but I was like super confused as to why you were using this spot spell. And I'm like, what the heck? Why would he do that? And then when we brought it up last game here, I was like, oh, that's what you were doing it for.
Well, I completely forgot. Like during the game, I remember the advantage, but I forgot about they switched
Yeah.
back.
But there's also two different types of transformations as well. So it could be that it only works on ones that are triggered by the moon, or just
I think it says any shapeshifter. So,
yeah.
and like I was doing it because like there was this temple that had this like unnatural moonlight that was like causing the werewolves to go crazy. And so I was like, oh, I can get him to calm down if I hit him with this moonbeam. Maybe I can cure him by hurting him. Anyway,
I can punch him better.
punch him better. It worked. It's like fix it Felix with his wrench.
And the
That's what you're supposed to do at
the
the end
old
of
hands.
King's Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. You heal the final boss, and it gets rid of a third of his health.
Undead. Also the ill-phrased head and shoulders a slogan for a while. The burning means it works.
Oh, that happened
It's supposed to hurt.
in the 90s?
Yes, in fact, there was in one of the Naked Gun movies. There was a sequence that was removed from the movie version, where they ended up one of their sponsors for the movie was Head and Shoulders, and there's a scene where somebody's like talking about their itchy scalp and stuff. They get handed a Head and Shoulders like right there on screen, and then he just wanders off with it. But he later comes back with like all of it lathered in his hair, but there's fire set in his hair as well. Is it
that's
supposed
good.
to be burning like that? And then that means it's working. They apparently people didn't seem to like the concept of that, so they kind of rolled back really quickly on that ad campaign.
Yeah, nobody wants to intentionally burn themselves.
Well, I think it's just the sensation of it. I don't think it's literally burning.
Yeah, it's more a tingling.
Yeah.
You one of those where you can feel it working kind of thing.
Anyway,
Because I like bleach my hair, and there's like a definite burning sensation at certain points where it's just like, oh, that's bad. We got to do something.
Yeah, same with dyeing your hair, I think.
Speaking of dying, last time
What?
on Curse of Strahd, you exited Argynvol's Holt, which was all you ever hoped for. After all that anticipation, And you were preparing to return to the Wizards of Wine winery when you were ambushed by a pack of wolves, several of which would turn out to be werewolves. They were after Vio's holy symbol of Ravenkind, but you were able to fend them off, chase them off with moonbeams, stab them in the back, and you continued on your way, where you mostly prepared for your dinner at Castle Ravenloft later that night, or the following night. Minerva, which I said Miranda here, but you're Minerva. Minerva believes she can construct the special firearm from Esmeralda's blueprint, but lacks gunpowder to actually make it into a firearm. The Amber Shard, which he is in possession of, once again offered its services to power the weapon without the need of gunpowder. But I think Minerva was kind of intrigued, but ultimately refused.
Yes, she is very much kept away by Godfried's warning, but she does understand that it does possess power.
Well, listen, if it's in the gun, it's not possessing you. Just saying.
Possesses the gun.
Yeah. But when you leave the Wizard of Wines the next morning, you pass by Vallaki, make a little pit stop there, where Esmeralda and Irina spend some quality time alone in the town as you go to your dinner. But you see Aragal, Arabelle's uncle, not making himself hidden to you. He wanted to be seen, but as he passed by, he bumped into Minerva. Yep, see, now I'm doing it, and slipped a piece of parchment into her pocket. And upon finding a safe location, you read it, and it says, "Spy in castle seeks a meeting to discuss an opportunity. Find the victim amidst the court. Burn this." A for Aragal.
But fire would have been too obvious, so I ate it.
Yeah, I think you ate it, yeah. She just read this note and then... Knowing that you might have an ally in the castle walls, you depart to the carriage awaiting you at the Ravenloft gates. But if there's anything in town you want to do before we leave, that'll be the time to do it.
We couldn't find a bag of holding because it just was not too many people come in and out with magical items, and
I rolled for it.
I'm all full of magical infusions, so we were bumming to look for that.
You could use one of your infusions to make one, if you want.
Isn't it? Like I use them all up, so I have to wait till I level up the next time to.
No, it's just a long rest, so I can let you. It's not the morning anymore, but you can get rid of one of your infusions.
Because I would have to get. Okay, so I think one of them was.
You can get rid of the radiance of my weapon.
Well, there's more useless ones, Vio.
Well,
There's.
you're only using. Well, okay, go ahead.
Was it the three? Was there's the Misty Step, or the teleport sort of thing that Vogelsuch has, and then there's the Radiance, and then the other one was Grude.
Grude has a ring that can give him a spell slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the teleporting boots. I do have Misty Step, which is similar.
But he uses
it costs a spell slot, yeah. So I'm not going to use it unless I absolutely need to. But I don't mind getting rid of that one.
No, you use that often enough.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You can run up to something.
I haven't used it yet, though. The idea is that I should run into something after I've raged, and then hit them, and then use that and snap back.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I haven't been able to do it yet.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. And then the Radiance. But what does Grude's ring do? It's just extra. Yeah, it gives you back spell. So that seems pretty useful. I will say that the radiance is seeming pretty.
It hasn't
Yeah,
been.
I keep forgetting I have it anyway. So
It blinds people though, which
It
is kind of
could it
neat.
could potentially blind someone if they attack via.
Yeah,
If
because the thing is, they were all good options. It's just
Yeah.
right now, like, which one do you think would affect combat the least? And I do think it's the radiance one would be.
You also were told that that you might not have a lot of opportunities to actually explore the
Yeah,
castle during this dinner because you are.
That's the other thing. Like you can also like remake these things afterwards. I don't
Yeah.
know how much we're going to need to teleport boots in the castle.
depends on if we're running away.
Yeah.
no, they teleport backwards in time, sort of, or backwards in space, so it goes to where you were.
I
So,
would
yeah,
I would
so-
use it I would use it cleverly. So
Yeah, we do a Scooby Doo thing. You end up running down the hallway, teleport, and
Yeah.
vanish. They keep running down the hallway while you're behind them.
Oh, does that mean you can like? Does that have to be during your turn? Can you, if you're like pushed off a cliff, can you rewind back?
it is a bonus action to
Bonus action,
use
okay.
it. So I could say that I would use a reaction. I could maybe ready an action, and
Yeah.
that would be up to you if you'd let that happen.
You could take longer to fall.
Yeah, so it's like the last episode of Futurama
What
Yeah,
if you?
where
exactly.
Fry's got like a 10-second time thing, and he goes back up, but he doesn't go all the way back up from where he jumped, so he has
Yeah.
to just keep looping until somebody helps him.
Yeah, but so right now I will say that the radiant
Okay.
sword.
Okay. So we've been talking about this. I think you have. Unless you have the bag of holding actually selected as your item when you level up, you can't make it afterwards. So,
Okay,
so
so
you're actually right. You can't do it until you level up.
Level, not on a long rest. Okay.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll have a very experiential dinner, and I will make a bag of holding out of this. But
You
no,
you can
yeah,
make it. You can change your item during a long rest, but since your create magic item is the wand of magic seeking or whatever,
yeah,
Yeah, you can-
not the bag of holding. You just can't switch magic items. Is the thing.
okay, so it's like switching versus I'm making an entirely new one versus swapping out my inventory.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic.
That's 'cause
Okay, I got
that's
it.
how it
All right.
works. Yeah.
All right.
So-
So, mentally preparing for breaking back in here.
It's like you can make whatever slushies you want, but you have to have the slushy flavor already installed.
Thankfully, slushies. Okay, so I have a potion of healing and a potion of greater healing, which I feel like is more than what we usually have. I have 9 silver bolts, but hopefully they won't come up. So I feel fairly equipped for going into this place.
I've got a potion of greater healing as well. I think we all got one of those.
Yeah. Also, I added Esmeralda's inventory to the
Great.
journal.
So we can, in case we need to, loot her body.
She goes, hands off my holy water, my wooden
And-
stakes. She goes,
Just
oh,
to note, no.
he goes, okay, take one of the wooden stakes. You might need it.
Oh, I already have my own. I take out my wooden stake because I started with them.
Just to note, the Ravenkind, it's going to be tucked in. It is not going to be visible, visibly worn or anything.
Okay,
I don't want him to know I have it.
smart.
I still have a Rubik's Cube. I forget where I got that.
I think if you cast a spell, you have to, like, gameplay-wise, you have to take it out. Just so you know. Oh wait, it's not your holy focus, so it doesn't matter. It's just a magic item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I use one of the abilities for it that require an action, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's like if I start strolling in, it's not going to be the first thing he sees.
Okay.
I've got the Lantern of Revealing and soap.
I've got the
You're
silver
the only
sight.
one with soap.
I always like to carry a bunch of like random mundane items because you never know when you get a clever idea for it.
I've got sealing wax. So
That's good if you need to put it in your ears to prevent yourself from being deafened by something
or if there's a leak from upstairs.
or that.
Could the soap be explosive?
This is not Fight Club.
Depends on how much
Okay.
you lather.
That's true. All right, that's something for something else. But
I don't know if potentially have a stream pastry still. Just like crammed in the bottom of my pocket.
that probably looks like crap now.
Yeah, it's probably stale.
So, you walk for approximately 7 miles out of the Savage Woods, back in the trail.
I would walk 7 miles.
Then you get to another wooded area. The old Savage Road takes you eastward, briefly touching the southern shore of Lake Zarovich before bending around a craggy mountain spur. Not long after departing the promontory where the old windmill stands, the road plunges back into a dark, gloomy wood cloistered between two mountain peaks. The air here is cold and quiet, and the damp gravel of the road occasionally crunches underfoot. Your ears catch the snap of a twig in the underbrush, and through the mist steps a familiar skeletal warhorse and rider. The skeletal rider sits silently, its lightless lantern held aloft in a bony hand. You encountered this rider when you first arrived. It passed by you without saying a word.
After we left the death house?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you do when you see this?
Hey, dude. What's up?
It turns its head towards you, raises a free hand, then beckons you to follow it, then departs into the mist.
Is it in the direction of the castle area?
It's into the woods, so it's off the path.
What do you all think? Do you think maybe it will help us out?
Not entirely sure, but any delay from getting to the castle, I'm up for.
We were told we were going to get a carriage. Was a carriage promised us? I thought we were going to be like greeted at the gates.
Yeah, at the gate that probably that I think there was a bridge that we crossed that had one of the Revenant on it.
Okay.
Probably somewhere around there.
Okay.
You know by the map, it's like about a mile up the path. The gate to Ravenloft. You never actually been to that part.
Yeah.
Before, but it's kind of I said it went into the mist, but it's kind of standing there, kind of expectantly, seeing if you follow it.
I'm good to follow it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm nice and
We
gullible.
still have time before we need to be at the castle.
I mean, he didn't kill us the first time we saw each other, and that's a pretty good sign here.
As you follow it, it turns the horse around into the woods and silently kind of fades into the mist, into the trees. The rider leads you silently a short distance northwest along the woods, its steed's hooves rustling softly through the rotted leaves. The rider never looks back to meet your gaze, instead keeping its dark sockets directed firmly at the forest ahead. The wooded terrain slopes upward here, the loamy sod giving way to scattered boulders as the basin slowly becomes a mountain crag. The rider guides you to a small rocky outcropping overlooking the nearby woods, which stands a tall, ancient oak tree. Its dark leaves rustle restlessly in the chill wind, and black vines spread across its wizened bark like old veins. And as you approach the tree, he nods, a silent nod, and then departs into the mist, begins walking away.
What do you... Thank you. I don't know, I'm gonna do an investigation.
Sure.
Because he's part of the tourist board.
Yeah, he's gone. He's in the woods.
I feel like he's not much of a talker, but there must have been some reason to bring us here, or else we're just fools.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Also,
Did he have a
willing to-
head? Did he have a
He
head?
had a head. It is
Okay.
a Scullyman.
Yeah, not a Dullahan.
Oh god, what if I'm Ichabod Crane?
17.
You do look like a scarecrow.
We got a 20.
20. Minerva,
Yes,
you
seven
see, without much effort, you see there's some markings etched into the tree. 2 letters connected by an ampersand appear to have been carved into the tree trunk, reading K and V. A small, dark hollow filled with crumbled leaves lies in the trunk just above it. There seems to be something lying amidst the leaves.
Yeah, these letters ain't natural. Notice that up right away. And then just like put this hand in the.
These aren't natural markings.
This is how trees usually look.
You might not know this, but
Reach and grab whatever is laying there.
Okay.
It's the ampersand that gave it away.
You see a very old-looking piece of parchment. A small ancient scroll of parchment tied delicately with mud-stained string.
Can I delicately open it up?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Grude, would you like some help with that?
Yeah, I'll probably like smash this thing to bits if anyone else wants to help with this.
I'm pretty good with dexter stuff, but I feel like maybe VO. So I'm sleight of hand +2.
I'll do it.
Okay. You better not have a 0, VO.
I have a plus
Oh,
2
that's
to
way
sleight
better
of
than
hand.
I'm on 5. Hold it.
7. It's a pretty old piece of parchment. The string kind of just crumbles as you try to remove it, but you're able to unroll the parchment without having it fall apart. You see the following letter, which says, Dearest Barushka. Barushka. I got it. I hope this letter finds you well, though I fear it may not. My heart aches as I pen these words, knowing they may be the last I ever write to you. I pray that you too survive the slaughter. Please forgive my cowardice. Though I fled for my life, some part of me also knew I had fled from the life we may once have shared together. You are reading this letter, then my spirit is gladdened to know that you have also escaped safely. My heart breaks, however, to share that we shall never again meet in this life. I have been given and accepted an offer of a new future and a new opportunity. I do this not to abandon you, but because I am convinced that there is no other way to set things right. You always said that nothing is ever too broken to repair. As I stand at this crossroads, I cling to hope that you are right. Some time ago, you gave me a gift, one that I cannot take with me to this new journey. I have left it atop our tree, watched by a pair of guardians provided by my new benefactor. Please take it with my deepest regrets and with my warmest wishes. No soul deserves love and peace more than you do. May you live a long and happy life, and may joy follow evermore in your footsteps, even in the nights of darkest sorrow. Sincerely yours and forever, Katrina.
Does that mean that there's
That's
like
it.
something up above this tree?
I don't think
Right.
so. I think there's a separate tree that has 2 guardians on it. Because why would she say our tree if it's not just in with the letter?
Are there any trees around that also have like K and V, K Heart V or anything
This is
like
kind
that?
of
Carved into it?
a lone tree separated from all the other ones.
Because it would make sense it was
Okay.
their tree because of the carvings, now that you pointed out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right, not natural to the tree.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It's a small rocky outcropping overlooking the nearby woods, which stands a tall, ancient oak tree.
Okay.
It's noticeably bigger than all the other ones.
I'm gonna send Deez up to see if he can find anything.
He pops out of your beard,
Yes.
kind of looks up.
What's that? You need me? Good.
Yeah, dude, if you could go check, there might be something up there.
Rubs his hand together. He hasn't climbed a tree in a long time.
Yeah, just shooting stuff in the face.
Just think of all the acorns there might be up there.
He scurries up the tree into the, you kind of lose him in the branches, in the dark leaves, and you don't hear anything for a moment, and then you hear a rustling and the cawing of ravens, and like dried leaves start like falling from the branches, and you hear little.
Oh, hope he's okay. Deez, you okay, dude?
Roll me a squirrel's strength check.
I don't know.
Oh, he's fighting the squirrel boss.
Roll me a d20. Let's just do a straight roll.
Okay.
I'm imagining the Star Trek battle music,
4.
but on kazoo.
Oh, they rolled a little higher. After a moment.
Can I do low?
Sure.
Okay. This is important.
Dear fates, please protect my squirrel friend.
That's mostly it.
Yeah.
Was that
So
D8,
a D6.
D6?
D6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0. Let's go win.
You hear like, and then you're like, you can do it, little buddy. Those guys got nothing on you. And then like after a moment, you hear like the ravens caw some more, and then you get the sense that instead of like angry noises, Deez is just like sounds more like a monkey. But you can see
It's like Donkey Kong?
he's talking things out with them.
Oh.
And after a moment, he scurries down the tree trunk with something in his hand.
What'd you get? Also, I heard you had some, seems like some very good, like, de-escalating things going on up there. Good job, buddy.
So he's actually like kind of struggling to hold it. It's like it's a small wooden box, pretty big for a squirrel.
Wow, you're like so good at climbing.
He's like going down one-handed, has it underneath his shoulder.
Just feet.
But it's a small old wooden box with a tarnished silver latch, bearing centuries of scratches and scrapes from raven claws. And he hands you it.
Whoa. Whoa, it gets, that's amazing. Good job, guy. And then, open it up.
Okay. It is a tarnished locket. But it's one of those lockets you can tell that it's one half of a set.
So the other one, it's like, so you put it together and it makes like
Yeah.
the full, yeah, those are great.
Well, which one is it? Is it K or V?
I have a feeling we shouldn't bring this out when Strahd's around.
Well, I believe it's whoever wrote the letter, so I believe it's Kay's. Does it show a picture of anyone inside, or if the picture survived?
It's a picture you want at all.
And she doesn't say if it's... I know it says lock it. So that assumes it opens up. I think it might contain a lock of hair.
Shoot.
Have a
But
lot here.
it is interesting that the ravens are the ones taking care of it, not crows, correct?
They were ravens, yeah.
Because who are friends with the ravens?
The Raven people.
Well,
Yes,
Not all of them are aware, though.
that's
Why
true,
would
but that's the very important thing here, is that this is somebody who's not associated with Strahd.
You had a encounter with a raven pretty recently. That didn't seem to be a were-raven.
Yeah, the elk thing. Dire elk.
So I'm wondering, so this seems like it's somebody who's not associated with it, but I feel like it would be interesting to keep. Next time we're back, hopefully we go back to the winery. We can maybe ask them about Katarina.
Yeah.
Why do you think we were shown this?
I don't know.
Maybe that writer, maybe used to have this.
Or like that was like Strahd's brother or something? Or that was like maybe that was Katarina?
So don't get the names confused. That's not
Oh,
Tatiana.
correct. Thank you.
Strahd and Sergey.
All these European names.
Yeah.
So similar.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
European names.
Yeah, we need a good Jeff or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
So it'll be spelled with an O in it.
presumably this is a different person. And I made the same mistake. I was like, is this Tatiana? No, that's wrong.
No, it's definitely a separate group of people that their lives are probably intertwined with Strahd in some way. But,
Maybe this will later give us a bonus or something.
One of my nieces has this as their name.
in game life,
No, their name's Katarina.
I was gonna say you have really filled out your character if you've like named your nieces and
Oh no, that's part of the plot. He has no idea who they are.
yeah, which would make it even better. Yeah, who would like to keep that on them?
I'll add it to the pile. I'll slowly become a Mr. T.
The box itself seems old and worthless.
I just put it back in like the hole where I found the letter if it fits.
Okay, yeah,
I
you can
think
put
the
it there.
letter is a lot smaller than the box. But just cram it in. There you go.
That's
Well, guess we go back to the dinner. I don't know. That's kind of neat.
Yes, we can't dawdle around forever.
Yeah, I mean, we eventually have to arrive.
when you
About face.
oh, go ahead.
I was good. About face, then let's get going. Follow the muddy dirt road. Start singing a tune.
As you turn to leave, you do see two ravens kind of fly down to a lower branch with a little bit of ruffled feathers and watch you as you leave.
Was that you? Was that you that ruffled their feathers literally? Okay. Just curious.
He's giving you that innocent eye look.
Oh, he definitely did then.
I recognize this one.
Whoop, guess we go on the carriage.
So you
It's
pass
just standing
through.
there.
Just trying to get a sense of
Yeah.
where you find this. The western gates of Barovia.
I imagine it's not far beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said Gates of Ravenloft, but it's properly called Gates of Barovia. Not far out.
Yeah,
Barovia
no,
City Limits.
right past the little forest section we were just in. It was that little gate.
Yep. The fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings to old... Cling hangs with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
Good.
You probably just tell it's just with age. Yeah, not far beyond that. Even here, in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead, the dirt road splits into two, winding towards the east. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare. Parked at the fork in the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air. The side door of the carriage swings open silently.
Like a loud, creaky door hinge.
Yeah.
Anyone inside to have opened it?
No one is inside.
Ominous till the end.
At least we don't need to share the ride with anybody off-putting and weird.
Yep, no one weird around here.
Vogelsuch will start heading towards the carriage.
Same.
Horses take little notice of you as you approach. You said approach, do you enter the carriage?
I'll head up to it, and if nothing happens when I get to it, I will enter the carriage.
Okay.
Yeah. I like.
Minerva's
there's
gonna
no
follow.
werewolves. Yeah.
Maybe we should throw D's in first.
I don't think Grude would like if we threw in D's first.
That's fair.
Just check it for werewolves, and if it's clean, get in.
Just throw a whole bunch of silver in. Is anyone in there?
You all get in, and Grude, you realize this door was not meant for a 7-foot-tall orc. So you squeeze your way through, and as you sit down, like, the whole thing kind of sags to one side.
Oof.
Like the one corner just drops down
Yeah.
a bit, yeah.
Right on top.
And once
you
you all-
kind of crushed against the wall.
Honestly, you could probably sit in the driver's seat.
Yeah, there's no rider.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it might be right in front. It's kind of nice.
But as soon as you all enter and sit down, the door
Really?
The door closes,
Okay.
and the horses.
Big locking sound.
Yeah, the door's locked. And the doors, the horses start to begin to trot away at a slow, steady pace. But you notice that the cart is not empty.
Well, that's odd because it wasn't. It was empty mere
Well, there
minutes ago.
wasn't any person. Sorry, I just noticed this thing. There's a small scroll
Oh,
tied
okay.
with a blood red ribbon, and sealed with the familiar wax sigil of Castle Ravenloft, and written in Strahd's handwriting. Does he totally know what that looks like? It
Yeah, I was
says,
about to say.
"It is
Keeps
customary.
giving us
It is
upvotes.
customary for a lord to provide safe escort and a gift to guests to his home. Please accept both with my sincerest compliments." And that was actually on the door. It was supposed to be, but
Okay.
Grude found it under his butt.
yeah, I'm sorry, sad on it. But on one of the seats in this little, very fancy velvet pillow is a small chest, approximately 1 foot across and 6 inches deep.
Vogelsuch will grab it, as I assume the letter was read out loud, so Vogelsuch will grab it, open it up.
So on it, the front of the chest bears a carved sliding puzzle composed of 8 slidable wooden panels and a 9th empty space in the center of the puzzle. You notice that each panel is carved with a different animal. And it is... paste it here.
We better not have to fit.
It's the Riven mid-game puzzle.
A bat, rat, elk, wolf, then an empty space. A bear, a spider, a raven, and a butterfly. And you see carved on the top of the chest in beautiful calligraphy. It's the following phrase. It's like the Cracker Barrel, when you go to Cracker Barrel, have little puzzles in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Strahd truly is evil if he is using a sliding puzzle.
It says...
No, if he's evil, he'd use the sliding puzzles with one of the impossible solutions.
I'm really bad at those too as a person.
So, it says, My lips I nightly lift towards the silver moon. With trembling strings I weave upon a tiny loom. On wings of ink I glide above the sulking gloom. Scuttling through the shadows, in darkness I confide. With daylight's fragile beauty upon my lying eyes. Silent in the cavern's wound, with naught but stars to guide. I seek majesty in solitude. I have no truths to hide. My crown yet sits upon my head for all to see with pride.
So, switching into mark mode, this very clearly seems to be each line is one of the animals or creatures, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, so I got 2 and 3. I think we can all figure out.
The first one I'd imagine would be a wolf.
Yeah. Spider.
Howling the moon.
Bat. I'm writing this down. Don't worry. Wolf.
You got it. 2-2. Wolf, spider, bat.
Yeah.
Guddling. Oh,
So
sure, we're already solving it. You've already got a puzzle made up.
You don't actually have to do a sliding puzzle. Let's assume that you.
It's a matching puzzle instead of a sliding
you can do it.
puzzle.
But yeah, whenever you want to, if you want to try to get the right solutions, you have some time before the carriage will arrive at the castle.
I think the last one's elk. Crown that sits upon my head.
Scuttling through the shadows.
That works.
I confide.
And I expect you to draw whatever it is in the right spot.
Yeah, I'm doing a.
Oh, heck
a test. I'm doing a test one of the bottom.
I kind of realized this afternoon. It's like, oh, I should have made little tokens, but I just forgot.
Me and Steph have screens we can draw on with pens.
I seek majesty and solitude as a butterfly.
Oh wait, these are permanent.
Permanent ink.
Pride, which is a elk. I agree is probably the last one.
Crown one.
And middle, scuttling through the shadows and darkness. I think that's a rat.
Yeah.
I think the
Daylight's-
silent caverns boom is the bat.
But what's the on wings of ink I glide? Raven. Okay, so that's Raven.
Okay, that's Raven.
The daylight one is a butterfly.
No. I think I seek majesty and solitude. Oh no, that could be a bear. Damn it,
Oh
these are all
yeah,
difficult.
silent one. I think is bear.
You're
Okay,
all
alright.
sliding the pieces around, arguing about where should go where.
Yeah.
It's like now I have to
Wait
go
a
all
second,
the.
you could just
Now I
wait a
have to go
second,
all
you
the
just
way
pop
around.
these out.
It's like a 2-hour ride.
Okay, let's see if we can all agree on one at a time. If we're unanimous, we go with that.
The first three
My
were
lips
pretty much
nightly,
unanimous.
yeah. So my lips nightly, I lift towards the silver moon. Do we agree
Wolf.
that is a wolf? Yeah. Do we think that anything else could be a wolf? I doubt it.
No.
Next
Spiders.
is
With
definitely
trembling
spider.
strings, I weave my loom. That's very obviously a spider.
Spider.
Obviously.
Now on wings of ink I glide. That is either going to be a raven or the bat.
If it says glide, it's a good chance it's probably the bat, but
That's true. Let's skip that because we're not unanimous.
Yeah.
Scuttling through the shadows in the darkness I confide. That's could
Rat.
be. I think that's
Yeah.
a rat. Unanimous? Okay.
Yeah.
With daylight's fragile beauty upon my lying eyes. I don't know what that could be.
I think it's butterfly.
Butterfly.
Some of their patterns can be eye-shaped, and
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that for now. Silent caverns womb, not with stars to guide.
I think it's bear because it
Yeah, I
also
think
has
that
the
one-
Ursa constellation.
Yeah. Brr.
As you figure out this puzzle, after some time, you notice that
Yeah.
it is starting to rain outside the carriage.
Oh, inside the carriage. Oh, outside.
Outside the carriage.
So I seek majesty and solitude. I think that's the butterfly because cocoon, solitude, turns into butterfly. Monarch butterfly.
So which ones do we have left?
Well, there's the empty space.
Was that I have
Yeah.
no truths to hide? Would that
That
be
was my assume. That's what my assumption is. I have no truths to hide. My crown sits upon my head. We agree that one's the elk. I
elk?
believe.
Yeah.
all we've got left is the
So
the bear.
no, the bear we put into the silent cavern's womb
Oh.
because it's the bear would
Right.
Hibernation.
hibernate. Yeah. I still
Raven.
think that I seek majesty and solitude is butterfly because cocoon to monarch butterfly.
But what would be fragile beauty then?
That's the other thing. What do we have left? We have raven.
There's also
That.
because Raven was the Sam. Where did you see it? It's like the ink.
Because the wings of ink and majesty and solitude are the two like.
And I have no truth to hide. And the space.
Beast comes up and messes it all up.
Ah! I throw him at the window.
Jeez, what are you doing? Oh my gosh! Why did you do that? It's just because he's in a confined space.
He's looking for the squirrel one. And he kicks it when he doesn't find one.
Oh my god. Well, maybe what we could do is we could try. They make squirrel noises made my dog bark. Oh, it's okay. So maybe we could just try it with like the butterfly and the raven one way, and then we could just switch it over after, and then see if one of them opens.
Yeah, can we go through the entire permutation of everything, Joey, and eventually?
Oh my God, we're not doing
I'll let you do a couple Like a couple
How many
tries, because you
wisps
can't
do we have?
spend forever on it.
Yeah.
But they-
Do we think that I have no truths to hide is the empty space?
Most
I
likely.
I think it's space.
The other option is that the center space is still the center space. There is the
So daylight's
What?
fragile beauty is nothing.
upon my lying eyes. We made an eye out of by circling everything.
No, butterflies are no. They can.
I got no. I
know.
I completely agree
they've
that it is
actually
possible.
scare
Yeah.
away predators, but with their pretty
Yeah.
colors.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, the solitude one's throwing me off because I'm not like, oh, it's obviously a raven or anything, you know?
And
What would
the
be
cavern
more-
could also be a bat too.
Yeah. Not but stars to guide. That's bats are night creatures.
They're blind, but because the
no,
difference.
no.
between
No,
them-
they are nocturnal though. They're nocturnal. Stars come out at night.
Oh, the only thing they guide them is
Silent in the cavern with not but stars to guide. That could be bat.
the argument Sam had for that one is that there's an Ursa stars alignment for.
Yeah, it's a good puzzle because it's ah.
Well, no, that makes it a bad puzzle if there's multiple answers to it.
It tricks
But
you.
if that one is bat, then we know that Wings of Ink is raven,
Yes.
and then Solitude could be bear.
Yeah. Yeah? You want to try that?
I'm good with that. So we've got to rewrite the thing.
So bear
Anything to narrow
is
down the options.
bear is this one.
Brr.
Bird.
Or we said the butterfly is the butterfly was normal. The raven we said is the ink.
Yep. That's top
And the
right.
Bats, and the bat is that one.
And then empty space is empty space.
Yep.
What's the V?
The raven.
Raven.
Its beak.
No, it's a drawing of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's flying.
Okay, so read out the order for me.
I got it. Wolf, spider, raven, rat, butterfly, bat, bear, empty space, elk.
As you put the final piece in place, you hear a click. And the chest unlocks.
We did it! Oh, we did it!
Take that, King Graham.
These takes all the credit.
I may have been wrong about the butterfly, but I was right about the bat. After somebody said cave bat.
Yeah.
Open up the chest.
Yeah, let's get it. Honestly, this game made it almost worth it to come here, you know?
It's the most fun I've ever had in Barovia.
In Barovia.
Ah, sweet. 5 tickets to the...
Or ever.
Maybe we can. Maybe if we
5
get
prize
we can
tickets.
Give it to Blinksky.
So as you open up the chest, something kind of peculiar happens. As you open it up, it seems to grow in size. The top of it seems to become almost like the size of a full chest. You remember in one of the Harry Potter movies when they had the professor trapped in the chest that was basically like a basement?
Oh, yeah.
The Mad Eyes or whatever.
Yeah, they had Mad-Eyed Moody. Opened it up, it kind of opened up to a bigger object. That's kind of what's happening. And you see, even though this thing is only started as about a foot wide, inside it is the size of a full, closed chest. Essentially, believe it or not, is a bag of holding.
Well, a box.
But there are some things inside.
Inside the bag of holding?
inside the chest.
Okay. I'm gonna, just for good measure, I'm gonna take the bag of holding and turn it inside out to make sure there's nothing in there.
No. It is the chest is essentially a bag of holding.
Oh, I gotcha. I
Yep.
gotcha. The pocket dimension.
Yeah, it's like a little pocket dimension. But anything you can hold in a bag of holding, you can hold in here. So just essentially add a bag of holding to your inventory. But
Manifest.
after all that rigmarole, but you do find 4 neatly wrapped parcels, which each contains a fine set of black velvet gloves with silver trim and a fine black velvet cloak lined with wolf fur.
We each get.
That's gonna be still
clothing?
warm.
So you see some fine clothes. They are very high quality items.
So, fine clothing.
Fine clothing, yep.
I already have
Yeah.
fine clothing.
So now you can sell
Speak
it.
for yourself.
Wait, give it to Deez. Give it to Grude because he needs 2 pair because he's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, those should be items that we should be able to add.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, one second.
They're all fit to your sizes too. So Grude, its cloak and gloves are like noticeably larger than the other
You
two.
put on the gloves and be like, they fit.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
I had 3 fine clothes and a blanket, or I think this one's for you.
It's like a duvet cover or something in here.
Who wanted to take the chest of holding? Or do we want to just throw that as a words?
Of party inventory.
Yeah. I'm just getting over sickness, and I'm wondering if like I got brain fog from just how sick I was for the last 2 days, or just from the
No,
sickness.
the fog's outside of the carriage.
Well, it is now because I was sneezing and coughing for 2 days. So
Your voice is noticeably lower.
yeah, that's my larynx is like, hey, let's heal, and you sound cooler by about half a degree for a day or two.
So what do you do with this clothing? It's like fine gloves and a cloak. It's not like a full dress or dress
I
clothes.
think like Grude will put on the gloves, and then like when he gets out of the carriage, he'll put it on because it's kind of cramped.
You're kind of your knees are up against your chest.
Yeah.
Just squeeze a little further to the side.
Oh, sorry, Vio. Am I crowding you a bit?
Just a bit.
I imagine
Look.
your arm is up and like touching the other side of the carriage, and Vio's like underneath the arm.
Honestly, not a great place to be.
Just shoved against the side, or anybody
Vogelsuch
that's
just-
been in an airplane.
Yep. Vogelsuch just puts his gloves on over his whatever gloves he has right now. Doesn't replace them. What is the old etiquette? Pinky out, I believe. And Vogelsuch holds his pinky out with his gloved hand.
I don't know who could have ever told you that, Vogelsuch, but yes,
I
it is.
maybe I was a noble in my last life.
Well, when we come to all the spoons and forks, then that'll be very handy to see.
I realized I was worried about which to use, but I don't think I'll be able to use any of them. What with the inability to consume.
Vio, your words are interrupted by
Nay.
distant thunder.
Well, at least it's a good day to be inside.
Good thing you didn't. Good thing Grude didn't decide to ride out in the front.
Honestly, Dad, it's good the door locked on me. I was about to go out there. I don't actually mind the rain that much, but that puzzle was real fun.
You've been traveling for maybe about 20, 25 minutes.
The longest front yard ever.
Yeah, it says it takes 40 minutes by carriage.
That's because it's like miles of land.
2.5,
Yeah,
Hectares.
2.5 miles.
Yeah,
French front yard.
I think it was 2.5 by the crow flies, and a little longer by the pathway.
What about
And
ravens?
obviously we're not going in a full trot, and it's muddy. And the horse has been going in circles for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get when you get a ghost horse. It can't see where things are.
Nope. Well, they're not ghosts. They're actual horses.
And we look outside.
Sorry, that
and,
was the previous rider.
they veered into a tree and they're just
Yeah.
continuing to run with their heads against the tree. Like an NPC stuck.
Alright, so if you have anything else to discuss before you arrive, you see in the distance, through the fog, the shape of Castle Ravenloft upon its pillar stone. In the distance. You know you've almost arrived.
Upon thy yonder castle.
Oh, this is actually happening, everybody. It's actually gonna go check out his place and stuff.
I'm very worried because I mean this person has obviously done terrible things and he's just being very hospitable because of personal values. And it just feels like we're just walking on a razor's edge the whole time. And we want to look around and I feel like we won't be able to look around as much because it's how big does that castle look? Just
I'm going to show you a
I know it's not like a mansion castle. It's like small castle.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a drawing here, and you can
Yeah,
get the shape of it pretty well, even though you're not up close yet.
Yeah.
But this is roughly.
yeah, that looks like it's its own small village.
Yeah.
I believe it's 3 stories. Then obviously the towers. The tower is
Those aren't good.
the tower is 360 feet.
Yeah, I was about to say like the 3 stories aren't like 10-foot high rooms like we have these days. Those are easily like 30-foot rooms.
At least like the first one
doors,
is
3
obviously very, very tall, and then it probably comes up
Yeah.
normal. Yeah.
No one can see Strahd. No way, no how.
You see,
Well,
a,
that's
you,
beautiful.
you see a figure at the very top window, look out, and then close. No, doesn't really happen. Doesn't happen. No. The only thing is part of the story.
Seems like an awfully big place to look for everything we're looking for.
Oh, okay. Could we have like a quick list rundown? What are everything that we're looking for? Dragon skull. We got.
I wrote them down last time. Return a husband.
One
A
man.
spear. Yeah, 1 man, 1 spear, a dragon skull, and a relic that we don't know what is.
No, we saw it in
No,
the.
it's a small statue of a praying person. Sorry, I wrote that down.
It was in the stained glass. Yes, we have a general idea, but priority is husband because that makes sure that Theo doesn't die. And we
Yeah.
have 2 days before that new moon, is what she asked for.
The Bellevue's also asked you to find Cyrus, their patriarch.
Oh,
Because
that's right.
yeah, because he went to Castle Ravenloft after he got perfected.
All of the homunculi are looking for Uncle Cyrus.
Mongrel folk.
I guess they're not homunculi. They were people, but then they got leprosy, and then he kept like changing them into different things, and then he's trying to
Island
get them
of
back.
Dr. Moreau. Island of Dr. Moreau.
He started attaching animal parts to them, and eventually they just started inbreeding so much that it just became part of their genetics. So they're born like with a bunch of animal parts attached to them.
And now you had to remind me that Rob Schneider made a movie where he was given animal parts, and I'm upset.
I think this is based on that.
Oh God!
Rob Schneider.
Schneider, he's a carrot. Right, one more chance to discuss whatever you're going to discuss, though.
Yeah, only 2 of them have deadlines. The husband and the part with the angel, because bad things will happen if we can't find that. Possibly, that one might have alternative means, but not good ones.
You think the only one that's like life and death is finding the husband, not only because it's a living person, but also Vio's Vio's curse is attached to it.
If we can find the angel piece, then we might be able to persuade him to stop trying to take people's hearts and stuff for that golem.
Maybe we'll be lucky and they're all like the same person. Like all 5 of these things are like, a dude that is holding a spear and a dragon skull, and he was turned into a statue with petrification.
So they're all just tied together like the chair or the couch moose from Return to Oz.
Oh yeah. All right. I think we're as prepared as we can be. Of course, I don't feel that we can ever fully prepare for this. So let's go.
Oh, and obviously the spy.
Yes, the one who's victim.
Put this in
somewhere in a
chat
court.
To have a reference. Oh, sweet! They got like neon lights going on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Castle Rave Loft. Okay.
This is Ravenloft.
Nobody told me it'd be this much fun.
This is Ravenloft. Stop messing with me.
No, the joke being the
I know.
lights. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there are ones that's red. What could that mean?
Man, he must have a lot of torches in there.
It has that music sound. Is it too loud?
That's good.
Nope, good.
I think it's creepy, whimsical. It hits that right balance too. So
Yep.
it's a good theme.
I think it's the same theme as our menu, but in a waltzy kind of thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like the song from Legend when she's dancing with her dress.
So,
It leans just slightly to like Harry Potter music.
after
Just
winding
so much.
through the forest and craggy mountain peaks, the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft towers before you. The carriage comes to a dead stop before twin turrets of stone, broken from years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is the precipice of a 50-foot wide, fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths. An imposing drawbridge of old, shored-up wooden beams looms high above the chasm, suspended by chains of thick, rust-eaten iron that creak and strain under the weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare at you out of their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously. A deep, resonant grinding echoes through the air as unseen mechanisms suddenly groan to life. The chains above shudder and shriek as the drawbridge descends with a deliberate inroxable pace. With a heavy final thud, it comes to a rest across the chasm. And once the drawbridge fully descends, the carriage starts up once again. The carriage lurches forward, its wheels creaking as it rolls onto the drawbridge. The wooden planks groan underneath its weight, each hoofbeat striking a somber drumbeat against the ancient structure. You catch a final glimpse of the gargoyles atop the walls, their stony grins resembling leers amidst the shadows of the keep. A rotting wooded portcullis, green with growth, hangs above the entry tunnel. As the horses pass beneath it, the carriage's lanterns cast a flickering shadow against the dark stone walls, forming a strange, twisted shapes that cling to the mortared brickwork. The carriage emerges from the tunnel into a courtyard, where it shudders to a halt. The carriage door clicks and slowly opens. You have arrived at Castle Ravenloft.
Well, time to get fancy. Getting out of the carriage, is there... Just walk up to the door, I guess. Yeah.
Show you I'll switch to the map. Right, you're over here. As you exit the carriage, you do see two figures standing at the door, and it is raining. As you exit, you do see a familiar sight. You do see the elf Rahadin.
And the very charming person.
Person holding an umbrella above the head of a very fancy, glamorous-looking woman.
We haven't seen this one, right?
She does not look familiar.
Number 3, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move forward and do like a bow / curtsy.
Do you like
thing.
artfully put on the fancy clothes as you exit the?
Yeah, Grude definitely does.
They're all watching. Like Rahadin is just staring, and you see the other woman kind of put a hand up to her mouth as if she's like giggling under her breath.
Oh ho ho ho!
Thick, cold fog swirls in this courtyard, and sporadic flashes of lightning lance the weeping clouds overhead as thunder shakes the ground. Through the drizzle, you see torch flames flutter on each side of the keep's tall main doors. High above the entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged into its iron frame. The castle doors stand open, warm light spilling out from the entrance and flooding the courtyard. Two figures stand between the doors. One, a tall, lithe man with pointed ears and a dusky complexion, which bears a rich blue tunic set with intricate spiral patterns and trimmed with golden thread. His lips is curled in a thin, perpetual frown, and he holds both hands primly clasped behind his back. So they're kind of in the doorway so she doesn't get rained on, I guess.
Joey, can you turn the music down a little bit?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah, that's a little loud. Awesome, thanks.
It goes from quiet to loud, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
His companion, a woman, wears a striking red dress with a layered, ruffled frill. A black and crimson headscarf wraps around her head, its lush fabric sewn with precious jewels, and a black opal pendant glints from the silver necklace hanging. A black opal pendant glints from a silver necklace dangling loosely from her neck. Her red eyes glint in the flickering light, and you catch the glimpse of gleaming white fangs behind her curved upper lip.
Vogelsuch will also step forward and basically copy Minerva and also curtsy.
Rahadin looks you all up and down, as if he's like judging your appearance. And you hear under his breath, he goes, well, at least they made some kind of effort. When you approach him, you hear the kind of distant sound of screams in the back of your mind that you heard when he confronted you at the tavern all those nights ago.
What? Yes. Hello. We've brought wine. Because I believe we got 1 bottle of wine from the winery.
You did.
Yes. The
Yeah,
Red Dragon Crush or whatever.
take that out.
The woman steps forward and goes, "Oh, that was just so thoughtful of you. You must be Mr. Grude, Miss Gearshaft."
Makeshift?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, and you must be Vio,
Charmed.
and you must be the wonderful straw man, Vogelsuch.
The Vogelsuch, but
Oh, of course.
it is not an easy name to remember. I don't blame you. And who might you be?
She goes, well, my name is Anatrasta Clareva, one of Strahd's brides, and certainly the most glamorous. She goes, oh, Red Dragon Crush. I'm surprised you could afford it. She'll put it with the others.
Well, coming to Count von Zarovich's place, we spared no expense.
Oh, but let's get you out of the rain before your lovely cloaks are just soaked.
Does she walk past like a closet that she throws the wine into, and we just see that it's just full of bottles of Red
bottles,
Dragon
yeah.
Crush that's not been touched?
She takes it from like 2 fingers, like she's trying to not touch it as least as possible, and she just hands it to Rahadin. Put it with the others.
Good.
It's like, yes, my lady. This way.
Ah, yes, Red Dragon Crush, how customary.
At least it wasn't Great Mash number 3. Yes, it's
If
quite
I
a...
see another,
It's,
if I see another bottle
Yes,
of Great Mash number 3,
It's quite
I will
it's quite the peasant's drink.
Yeah.
Oh, how I do miss Champagne de la Stomp.
We would have brought some if we could have come across any, but unfortunately, best we could do.
Rahadin, as he kind of walks towards the door and gestures towards it, and he goes, "My lord sends his apologies that he could not greet you in person. He had other business to attend to."
Well, yes, being a lord of the land is a very busy job.
Vogelsuch, as we're going through wherever they're going to take us, I want to do as much perception as I can of just noting doors, windows, and if I can see anything. Because we are looking for 6 things. If I spot one, I want to know where it is.
Okay.
I'll leave it up to you how much that'll come up, Joey, so... I just don't want to say perception check, perception check, perception check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
save
I
that
do-
for just all the insight checks you're gonna do.
It's
Yeah,
okay with
I do
insight
think
checks.
I do think that is something to like put up. Is that I feel like perhaps as a party we're all just like looking like we're like not
Yeah.
relaxed. We're just like looking at everything all the time,
Yeah.
just trying to see
We
stuff.
just look regular nervous.
I have never been in a castle before. Excuse my curiosity. Like just wander around, like start like slowly walk over to the side before rejoining like where they're bringing us, and just basically doing that to get like more closer perception on things that you might not know.
Never been to a castle. Well, I am shocked. You all look like guests of such refined taste, of course.
Hey,
Grude's just gonna like stand there and be like, in his head, I know what I am.
You're feeling a little underdressed now after you see how
Yeah.
spectacular she looks.
She looks so great. I couldn't pull off what she's pulling off.
Wait, there's
Do you know what they would look like on me? Not
The
nearly
red
as good.
on my green skin would never work.
I think it would look lovely on you, Grude.
There's some artwork of her though.
that's good. Yeah, this is much better because with the small icon, I was like at first glance, I was like, is that like a picture of Vishnu? And I'm like, no, it can't be. That's not. No, they wouldn't do that. So it's just pale skin, and a diadem headband. And I'm like, that makes sense.
She looks
Good
very
art, though.
much like the Bram Stoker's Dracula, Keanu Reeves. One of the three brides.
Could be based
Yeah,
on that.
Keanu Reeves is in that Dracula.
Oh, I thought you meant she looked like Keanu Reeves.
No, like the Dracula. One of the brides does kind of like have this attire, I think, which is kind of neat. And also the Van
actually,
Helsing one has some too.
Actually, it's Bram Stoker. There's no first R in it. Ugh. Push my
Not Bram
glasses up my nose.
Stoker.
I'm sure there's some version that does.
But Rahadin will open up the door for Anastraza. She walks through and goes, "Thank you, Rahadin."
As we're approaching, I'm going to get next to Vogel and just quietly say, I'm gonna have to ask you a big favor on this. While we're here, do not ask anybody if they killed you. We can find out later.
May I request a persuasion check?
Yes.
Because I really want to see what happens if you roll a 1.
15. Because I know that if someone says yes, I know how you are going to want to respond, and we don't need that right now.
I think we'd all die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very well. I'll be on my best behavior. But
I guarantee you we will probably have a second chance at this.
if it comes out that, without me asking, I cannot promise what my reaction will be, but I will assume it won't happen.
Well, if somebody goes about bragging that they killed you, bad things are probably intended anyway. So feel free in that case.
It's a deal. Start heading in.
Did I make a art for Esther? Oh, I think I misspelled it.
Yeah, it looks like early Final Fantasy, or like Amano's work.
You pass through the ornate doors into the castle vaulted. Sorry, you pass through the ornate outer doors into the castle's vaulted entry foyer, your footsteps echoing on the dark stone floor. Overhead, 4 statues of dragons glare down, their lifelike eyes flickering in the torchlight. 20 feet inside the castle is a second set of doors, manned by 2 figures. To the left stands a handsome young man with long blonde hair, his soft features sharpened by a frozen smile. You recognize this man as the one that was driving Strahd's carriage when you first met him early on your journey. But he looks much more healthy than he did before. Before he kind of looked kind of weak and frail and a little gaunt.
Wasn't he somebody that that was known from the city of Barovia?
Yes. He was part of the group that went to the castle with
Yeah.
Van Richten and Doru.
Yeah, I think he was a friend of Doru's.
Doru's. But I'm trying to remember. I think Van Richten said that he was betrayed by them.
I love how this art like keeps its very like simple look, but managed to get like really good detail on the clothing.
Yeah.
Although it does seem like they accidentally purpled the top of the boot.
Yeah, that's what
Right
was
boot. But
giving
other
me
than
the
that,
that's
yeah,
what was giving me the Amano look.
yeah,
They love Amano loves doing like sketchwork stuff of everything, but gives absolute huge number of details to textures and fabrics and stuff.
yeah. It's good. It's good.
This person loves fashion.
To the right, a pale-skinned woman in an old wedding gown stands stiffly. Her hair, as black as raven's feathers, cascades over her shoulders, and her lips are pulled daintily back to reveal two fine pointed fangs. As you approach, both bow deeply to Rahadin, the man with a cat's mocking grace, the woman with a jerking, guarded motion, and step aside to open the doors for your passage. You're not introduced to her yet, but here's art of the woman.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
I've got my bets on the victim of the court.
Again, I love this art. It's great, really good.
Not ominous at all.
Uh,
I'm just gonna call her Anna. I'd say Anastasia barely kind of acknowledges them as they pass by, though. As they open the door.
scooch around.
So many characters. I had portraits open. You close them.
No, I gotcha. It's not the kind of setup that really lends itself to being moved dolls around on the map.
That one I recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cobwebs stretch between the columns that support the vaulted ceiling of a great dusty hall dimly lit by sputtering torches and iron sconces. The torches cast an odd shadows across the face of 8 stone gargoyles squatting motionlessly on the rim of the dome ceiling. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by decay. Double doors of bronze stand close to the east. To the north, a wide staircase climbs into the darkness. A lit hallway to the south contains another set of bronze doors. Yeah. And you do see 2 figures which you recognize as 2 other vampires you have met. Most recently, Ludmilla at Yester Hill.
She's probably not bitter.
And Valenta at the coffin maker's shop. A dainty
Probably
woman.
also not bitter.
A dainty woman wearing a faded gold wedding gown and a platinum mask shaped like a skull swishes a wineglass filled with a deep crimson liquid as she gestures wildly. Her companion, a tall, dark-skinned woman wearing a gold tiara and simple white gown, instead disregards her. Her cold gaze flickered towards you as her expression darkens. Her grip on her own wine glass tightens, and the corners of her mouth pull ever slightly downward.
Ladies, a pleasure to see you again.
Vogelsuch tips his hat.
My lady.
A couple rats fall out.
Yo, hey.
Good evening.
The formal greeting of the woods. Yo, hey!
As everyone enters, the two other figures close the door behind them. Anastraza goes, "Oh, I can see by your expressions that you have already met."
We are previously acquainted, yes.
Volenta and Lamina both go, "Yes," like almost in unison. It's like, we've met. It's like, well, my other sister brides, Ludmilla and Volenta. You can see the grip on their wine glasses, like, tightening. And of course, and she gestures to, Esther. This is Esther, our lord's newest plaything. Looking quite well dressed tonight, aren't you, Esther? He kind of snarls. Oh, and how could I forget? Sasha. Yeah, Sasha. Sasa Islavkova. Like, imagine she said it wrong on purpose, but Ivliskova. Yeah, Ivliskova. Would you believe that she's actually our Lord's eldest brides? From the beginning. Oh, but you couldn't tell about how radiant she looks. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this in reference to?
Sasha.
The bride person with the white veils and the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her name tag's not on Joey.
Darn, I was hoping they were talking about one of the two to the right. I still wanted to say, yes, it's amazing what makeup can do these days.
But Sasha does not look like she deserves that.
No.
Vio, Minerva, Grude. You notice that as Anastraza says this, that Sasha's hands kind of form a fist. And it's so she's like gripping herself so hard that her claws are kind of digging into her palms, and you see little blood marks, like little drops of a little droplet of blood fall like kind of dribble down her hand.
But then heal immediately due to her vampirism.
Yeah, almost,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh.
But you see Anastasia kind of lick her lips.
Oh.
I was actually under this. I had heard he had only 3 brides.
Lenta steps forward. It's like, we're the 3 most recent, and most important, if I had to say. Most skilled, definitely.
Of course, the newest are always the most important. Precious.
Knowing that Irina is going to be the new one.
As you say.
Anastraza kind of looks towards Sasha and goes, oh, how long has it been? It's like, how long has it been for you? What, 3-4 centuries? Oh, I couldn't imagine. But she just nods and goes, approximately 437 years, yes.
Approximately.
You've been keeping count, I see. Well, it's good
How
that
many
you...
weeks? How many days?
I'm sure it must be lovely to get out and stretch your legs and socialize for once. And the other brides just kind of chuckle, except for Valenta kind of like chuckles, but Lamilla just like sips her glass.
Married so young, you look very radiant. And he said towards Sasha, which, given that this is from an elf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she kind of stares at you for a moment, as if she's like studying you. And she gives a slight
If she
bow.
wants to do
Yeah, she gives a slight bow.
Okay.
He goes,
If she wants to do an insight check of any kind, he is not being
yeah, that's what he is.
sarcastic.
That's why he was studying, but she just says simply, thank you very much.
Slight bow.
Still not very good at that socializing thing, are you? And of course, I believe you also met young Esther. As I said before, he's our Lord's newest little plaything. Hasn't grown bored of him yet. But he's a good little boy, aren't you, Esther? He, stands up straight. Go, I believe I'm quite pleasing to our Lord. I serve him most adequately.
And Minerva will say, yes, I believe you were driving a carriage for him at one point.
You're soft giggles again from Anastraza. He goes, oh, you were so thin back then, so gaunt. But we got you fed up, didn't all fattened up, didn't we?
And now I just imagine being like, oh yeah, I'm fed up, exactly, yep, totally fed up.
That's what I tried to change it, but...
Yeah, no, it works the pun.
You took quite easily to your new situation, didn't you, Esther? Sometimes the spawns can take weeks or even months to get acquainted. Isn't that right, Valenta? She goes, oh. It's I like it when they squirm, personally. Let's see how long they can try to resist.
And how recent of a acquisition were you, Miss Anastasia?
I'm not going to look it up, but I imagine within a century or two. Maybe a little longer. Definitely before.
For most of one.
Definitely, yeah, definitely before he was asleep. It's probably about 2 centuries.
Okay, and she said she and then Lamilla and Valenta, the 3 newest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Esther would go, 4 newest. Potentially. But in Anastraza, it's last. He goes, of course, dear. But you can tell he's just kind of embarrassed by it all. He's getting embarrassed by them.
I'm
sure just Minerva's thinking about all the cattiness she's avoided her life. She's like, oh, not this again, type of thing, standing there where it's just yeah, sometimes it's in, because I do believe she did go to school for what she does, and so she would have been.
This is all those conversations that you overheard while busy reading.
Yeah, when I went to the library to actually read, and they went to the library to gossip, and I kept going shh.
Really more of the map here. Sorry, continue to talk for a second.
Talk. Piece of carrots.
Rhubarb.
What language are they speaking? I don't...
It's Elvish. I'm enjoying the mixture of names. And I'm assuming his name is now Sasha Hadin.
Yeah, I was gonna move everyone around so you can see them a little better.
I noticed that none of them are razzing him.
Or what?
None of them are making fun of Rahadin.
Oh no, he's kind of off to the side. Not, I mean, he's not a butler, but he's essentially trying to not
Just
interfere.
Be invisible.
Yeah.
Can we take a quick break, Joe, and give you a chance to set things up or read ahead, and then...
Oh sure, I just wanted to read a paragraph, but yeah, we can take a break.
Yep. I'll be back in a few minutes.
I'm gonna make tea.
I'm gonna make you!
They continue with 10 minutes of meaningless small talk. Oh, that's right. Look at this, everyone.
What? New background?
New background. A new one for you to vandalize.
Huh?
I wish they'd rather do Code Veronica.
It's the better of the games.
That was the first game I beat without my brother's help.
Didn't you
That's-
like...
I
that's
still had
always
to
a
give myself unlimited ammo.
Steph is back from making tea, so I am good to go.
Did you make tea, Claire Redfield?
Claire Redfield, would you like some tea? That's what us British like.
He's not far off from just very nice troll or hag voice.
Just go sit where the red sniper laser is.
Yeah. Move a little to the... Claire Redfield, move a little to the left so where that red dot is on the wall. Make sure you're about forehead level. That's not Alfred, that's the hag.
I don't drink coffee.
Want to drink coffee? Claire Redfield. Oh, so uncivilized. I'm done so long.
Yeah, I will say that he's definitely one of my favorite villains. Like, I liked him better than Wesker. He's just more fun.
Wesker outlived his interestingness. I know they should have kept him out of 5 because then he just became a monster of the week.
At least they got to kill him though in that game.
Right. But
Yeah.
he was much more cool as just like the guy in the glasses that just loomed in the background, never actually did much of
Yeah.
anything.
They turned him into Matrix Dodge Guy 10 years after that that stopped mattering.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool anymore.
And then he became a giant monster.
Yeah,
again.
that's around Code Veronica time. Like, obviously that was inspired by The Matrix. But then, like, Resident Evil 4 or 5, yeah, they kind of lead into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go punch a boulder.
Then you played as his son.
Hey.
And Alfred
Why? Then you
He
play
didn't
as
turn
his son in Resident Evil 6.
That we don't
Really?
talk about.
Is Resident Evil just becoming Tremors?
Play as
They can do a
Because-
crossover.
I forget his name. I think his name's just John or something. But then you play as Sherry from Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and she has a really cool, like, superpower that you find out about.
Yeah, because she got injected with the
G?
G virus.
Yeah.
The G Wilkers virus. And like Wesker's son has powers too, since I guess that
Hands of the
happened.
family.
And then they were never
Yes,
seen
it
again.
I would love if they brought Sherry back and like just doing something else because yeah, she has that whole like, well, she has literal virus exposure from a small child.
And didn't even meet Claire again that game. They were so worried about bringing Chris and Leon back, they didn't bring back Jill or Claire. Yeah,
I think they talk about them a little bit.
yeah, a little bit.
Aren't they all in one of the movies where they have excellent gun fu?
Death Island, which is actually pretty good. But
I wanted to see it so that it
And
was
the
good.
CG movies are pretty good.
but not Sherry's not in it though, but like Rebecca and everyone else is. It's weird because like Claire looks and everyone else looks like they're like more modern things from the older games, but like the Jill is the Jill from the remake, not the old Jill from the other games. And it's like
What? One of these things are not like the other ones.
Yeah. And like Claire looks just like she did in the other movies and in CG games. In the CG in the other games, and Leon and Chris, but Jill just looks like the new one. I guess they didn't want to.
The ugly blonde one?
No, the remake. Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing they didn't. Okay, one good reason is the old model is based off an actress. Maybe they didn't want to do licensing rights for her face again.
That's true.
But she's never been in one of the CG movies, so it's like they had nothing to go off of. But they did have the newer games, so I'm guessing that's kind of what happened. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's continue with our small talk.
And that's what happened to me the first century. Now the second century.
Going by
Started
year,
on a
not
Tuesday.
decade.
Started on a Tuesday.
Valenta goes, centuries just fly by, don't they, Sasha? She gives a little giggle.
I myself wouldn't know. I am mere weeks old.
And Strahd goes, "What now?" It's like, yes, what a curiosity you are.
I myself have many questions. And he does not ask his question. He is on his best behavior.
He's like vibrating. Like,
He's also doing the Arthur fist clench.
although
Yeah.
I imagine it was simple politeness that they invited a construct to such a fancy dinner.
Mm,
Did we even bother making you a plate? I wonder.
Doesn't matter. I was worried I wouldn't be able to touch the food anyway. It's not that I don't like eating, it's that, well, I simply can't. Do you know what that's like?
Because we can still enjoy the finer things in life, like a succulent meal.
I can't. But I can enjoy the look of it.
In the middle, Noah finally says something and goes, "But it does lose its taste after so many years. Barely remember what food tastes like."
Minerva just thought of something and looks over at Vogelsuch. Vogelsuch, can you smell?
I assume I smell quite good. Nobody's complained so far.
Are you able to determine the different things based off of scent? Or
Do I have
is it
an
much like
olfac-
tasting things?
Do I have olfactory? I believe not, although I feel I can sense a difference in smell, if not the potentness of it.
So you can smell if it's really strong, is what I'm getting from that.
I feel as such. I could, for instance, detect the decaying matter of a flesh and blood, but the difference between a rose and tulip.
Valenta yawns. She goes, "Boring." And she looks down her glass, which is empty.
She's
She snaps her fingers. She goes, "Oh, Anton, need a what's the
Wine.
phrase?
Up.
We need a top off." And you hear footsteps from over in this direction to the south. This individual comes walking in with a tray full of wine. A thin man dressed in fine servant's clothes exits the torch-lit staircase, his face completely obscured by a pale white mask. He holds a tray with several wine glasses and 2 pitchers of liquid upon it. One deep purple, one bright crimson, and steps carefully across the stone floor, towards you.
Is she heading towards Valenta? Oh, he's got decanter. Sorry, I thought he had
You'll kind of
Have we heard the name Anton before?
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
I don't think so.
Oh.
But he'll first.
Vogelsuch will actually maneuver himself slightly in front of Valenta as the waiter is going over and take out a wine glass that I think I still have that I held.
Okay.
And I will hold out this dirty wine glass, essentially cutting in line in front of her because she's a bitch, and
She's
wanting
like-
to top it off.
He like huffs and puffs, and the man steps forward, kind of looks at the wine glass in surprise, and he will grab the purple pitcher and begin to pour it. But Minerva, Grude, Vo, you will notice that his hands are trembling when he does so.
And who is this?
Valentis. And Anastasia will step forward and he goes, "Well, that is Mr. Anton. He and his poor wife are the newest additions to our little family."
I see.
But he offers a glass to rescue Minerva, Gruden, and Vo.
Grude will take it.
Same.
Minerva will take it.
His trembling hands will pour the wine. Valenta's looking annoyed that she's being ignored at the moment, but those getting wine, give me a perception check.
Consuming it, or just getting it?
Well, you can do one too.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like
Vogel's
you
just
taste
so
the wine.
Vogel's just so passive. Like I don't think he cares about anything.
Yeah, like he's getting really like annoyed at the cattiness of
The
these ones. They're just being
politics?
mean. Yeah, well, they're being mean for no reason to him. They
Yeah.
That's what he feels, and he's like, he at the very least doesn't like that. He doesn't care about most things. He connected with the one girl who felt like she was dead, and he doesn't like people who are just assholes for no reason. That's about it.
So
That and he wants to know who killed him. That's his character.
you all know something about Mr. Anton here. First of all, he looks terrified. And not only do his eyes look wide in fear, you notice that they're essentially like stitched open like that. And Vo, you notice when he's pouring the glass that his fingers have been mutilated. All his fingers has been cut off to the first knuckle.
Ugh.
So he's having a hard time grasping these pictures. But Anastasia goes, "He was dear Lamilla's newest experiment." And she pulls out. She takes one of the wine glasses and snaps her fingers. She starts pouring it, but she pours her the red liquid in that pitcher. Gives you all the purple ones. Lamilla though will place her hand over her glass, so she doesn't want any. Sasha does the same. But Valenta's like tapping her foot and goes, "Anton, I'm the one who called you." She starts snapping her fingers. And he quickly turns his head towards her. You can hear a as if she's trying to form words but can't. And as he
Well,
steps... Sorry, go ahead.
I do believe that courtesy says that guests first.
Yes, he was being quite hospitable.
So good job.
Well, this happens when you're pouring the drinks to say this.
Yeah.
As he's pouring drinks to everyone, Anastasia goes, please tell me about yourselves. What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing? What is there to do outside the castle?
I mostly stand around in fields, asking people questions and frightening the birds.
Oh. Predictable.
It is a simple life.
It is honest work. Duh, well, I just like hanging out with my animals. I like going adventuring, looking around, seeing new cultures, and yeah, seeing how the world works, you know?
Oh, you must have...
I'm a musician myself.
Oh, musician. Well, first she says to Grude, it's like, oh, you, how do you like the culture of our quaint little Barovia?
Yeah, it's pretty like chill. Like it's not as like fast paced as like the big cities and stuff, so it's kind of nice.
Her eyes kind of brighten up at the mention of a city. He goes, oh, do you have cities where you're from?
Yeah, like they're really big, really busy. I like using the term bustling when they talk about cities. It's like I don't know, there could be like even sometimes just inside one building, it could be everyone that I've seen so far, just like in there doing stuff. That's how many people there are.
I do miss bustling cities. But even in the old, even in Zaro, but even in Zarovia, still not much to speak of. Takes a sip of her drink. At this point, Valenta snaps her fingers and he goes, Anton! I'm thirsty here. And kind of panicked, he kind of rushes over to Valenta, but just as he approaches, he stumbles, trips over a loose piece of cobblestone, and the pitcher goes flying off.
Is there any way to react to this to try and help?
No, you're kind of on the other side of the room. It flies off him,
Motion.
spills all over her golden dress.
I Eldritch Blast the liquid.
It splatters even more, but it just goes dead silent. You hear a pin drop, and for the first time you see Ludmilla smirk and giggle. It's like... and Valenta's just standing there, like, mouth open, eyes wide. So here we go. The masked man stumbles, losing his grip on the red pitcher, and a wave of crimson liquid soars through the air before splashing across Valenta's golden gown. The other vampires abruptly fall silent as Valenta whirls towards him, her sodden dress hanging limply across her chest. Her eyes burn with frenzied rage behind her mask, and her hand tightens around her wineglass so hard that it shatters. And Anton is just standing there, motionless, his eyes wider than ever.
Mark wants to do something really stupid, but I don't think I can justify it.
What makes that any different than...
There's no reason. Vogelsuch would probably think it, but not do it.
Right.
Mark would want to do this if Mm,
Grude doesn't even
Yeah.
have prestidigitation or anything to help.
yeah, it's a
Nobody in our party has that or thaumaturgy or any of those.
So she stands there for
Yeah,
a
it would-
moment, kind of looking down at her stained dress, and then just kind of loosens up and starts laughing. It's like, just look at that. Oh, Anton, you poor, bad, clumsy boy. And her hand grips the broken glass, like enough where like it starting to draw blood. And she goes, well, I can be clumsy too. And like almost lightning quick, almost impossibly fast, she has her hand to Anton's throat, a broken piece of glass, like pressed up against it. And she goes, so clumsy I can be, just one slip of the hand. And oops! No more clumsiness from you. And he is just shaking. You see, like, tears starting to form. And you just hear, like, and Anastasia is just laughing. Esther is like grinning, hand to his chin. Sasha is silent, but the glass is breaking his skin, drawing blood. What do you do?
Oh dear. Well, we've already had one spill already. If it goes any further, madam, who will clean it up?
But this foolish man has been the worst servant I've ever seen, and he's been a nuisance long enough.
I must say that color is actually quite lovely on you.
Her
And
eyes
he's not.
narrow.
Vogelsuch is not saying this to be insulting.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to say, like, distract her essentially with praise in a way.
I wore
Yeah,
this
well,
dress on my wedding night, and he has ruined it. And he and
Well, that doesn't work.
Lamilla goes, do with him what you must. Quite say I'm quite disappointed with how he turned out. I'm only sad that I couldn't do similar to his wife. And she kind of sips her wine and does a little gesture as if to say, like, go ahead. And you see her raise the piece of glass. He goes, you won't be spilling any more drinks.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Me either.
I got nothing that wouldn't jeopardize things.
If you couldn't kill somebody in front of us, it would really throw off my appetite. And I know that Strahd has put a lot of time, or Count Bonsarvich, and it would be a big upset if I couldn't eat his wonderful meal because of seeing somebody mutilated in front of me just before supper.
Your persuasion check.
I would like to give the help action.
You didn't say anything, sorry. Oh, so you want to do something else?
Yeah, I would like to add in this is true. It does not seem becoming of a host.
16.
Yeah, roll advantage since you got help.
I got my advantage,
Yep.
yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
At what she hears, like, the Lord Zarovich, Von Zarovich might be upset if you spill blood. She looks confused for a moment, but natural 20. Her hand lowers. She loosens her grip. And you hear from the stairs to the north. A sound of light applause fills your ear. Even, measured footsteps echo from the grand stone staircase, and a tall, elegant figure descends into view. He wears a vetted vest of rich scarlet above a crisp white shirt, each ornate fastening meticulously buttoned. He moves with a cat's grace, his long velvet cloak whispering through the air behind him. As he approaches, the flickering light of the torches dance across his pale skin, his crimson eyes glinting like rubies. He goes, "Good evening," Strahd von Zarovich says, his lips curling into a cordial smile. He goes, "And that is correct. It would be quite the nuisance if we had to clean up blood as well as the wine." There's some art
Good.
here.
Minerva's gonna turn to him and kind of like motion everyone with her hands, so we all turn and like do a group bow curtsy and like, oh, good evening, Von Savage.
Jacked out.
This is a question from you, Mark. How do you do like the zoom in on handouts?
It's on handouts. I don't think you can do that for players. You can click on it if you open it. Like, we can all see it, and we can click on it, and we get the zoom in. But I don't think you can
handouts.
show it for everybody.
How do you do it for tokens?
If you select the token, and it's Shift Z. Shift and then Z. I believe.
Does it have to be on the stage?
Yes, the token has to be on the stage.
Okay, because sometimes in our other game I see Phil do like full artworks, and I guess he makes tokens of them. Anyway.
Oh yeah, he might.
Anyway.
No, does he just show us the... Oh yeah, I'll have to pay attention to that next time. I never really thought about that. I could be wrong. I'll look it up.
Anyway. But Strahd von Zarovich strides down the stairs. And any bickering or laughing that was happening immediately goes silent. And each one bows or curtsies as he descends the stairs. And as she curtsies, Anastasia bows her head and closes her eyes, murmuring, "Good evening, my lord." She adds, her eyes flickering towards Valenta, "I hope the night's reveille did not disturb your work." But you can tell she, Strahd goes, "Of course not. Barely even noticed." He goes down here. It's like, we almost had quite the mess. Didn't we, Valenta? You get so excitable. But that is one of your more attractive qualities. But also one of your deepest flaws.
Vogelsuch is just kind of like staring right at his interactions with each of them.
Can't really tell much behind her mask, but she goes, "Of course, my lord." But what are we to do now? Oh. But he actually turns to Sasha. He goes, "Oh, my dear Sasha, would you mind retrieving a mop from Cyrus and attending to this mess?" And his eyes linger on Valenta. It narrows and goes, "2 mops, perhaps. If anyone would care to assist."
Is that like an open invitation to us?
Well, he was looking at Valenta, but she kind of looks around, a little confused, like she was speaking, like he was speaking to someone else, and goes, Me, my lord, doing servant's work? And with that, like, Strahd just gives a glare. And goes, for the disturbance you caused. Yes. But surely, one of your brides, like one of high standing as me, shouldn't be resorted to mopping the floors, like... And she's, like, stammering a little bit.
You could probably see that Vio is kind of enjoying this.
Quiet you. But Strahd will go, if you please. And that, like, shuts her up. It's like, oh, yes, of course. She'll, walk up to Sasha, grab her by the hand. Go, you heard him, follow me. And she's, like, kind of starting to be pulled forward. Towards the south. She kind of gets forced past all of you, past Anton. But her head is to the ground, not really reacting, just being pulled in that direction.
As an introvert, I fully understand.
You see him just disappear behind this corner. But you hear them say, it's like, where does Cyrus keep the mop? So I have no idea. Servant's work this is. Why was I singled out like that? Night when I was having good conversation too. And all that spilled blood. Oh. Didn't get my fill.
Quite an echo in here.
I believe that was the show, and dinner is the only other part.
Rahadin will step forward and go, I will see to preparations, my lord. You know, disappear over here, but take a turn to the left. Strahd steps forward and goes, oh, I do apologize once more. But in the meantime, he takes a bow. Welcome to my home.
Thank you for inviting us.
Vogelsuch will bow back a little bit.
I hope my brides have kept you entertained in my absence. I once again apologize for not greeting you in person.
We were told you were busy, and that is fine by us.
And you are
Vogelsuch is still holding his wine. He has not, done anything with it.
I do hope they treated you with respect. For you are newcomers to my land, without home or hall, I expect. I trust nonetheless that the hospitality of my people have been to your liking.
They have treated us politely, yes.
That is good to hear. Hospitality is such a lost art in some cultures. And I trust that you have seen more of this beautiful land. I do admire its beauty.
What we can make out in the twilight, yes. Although I guess I'm not the visitor. Turn over to the rest of the party.
Possibly more than those who live here, yes.
You seem quite well traveled since you arrived. I regret that the mists have concealed much of the valley's once radiant beauty. How have you... Tell me, what have you stood out to you the most?
Hmm.
Well, for me, we visited an abbot, and he has a home of people he's caretaking for, and they are unlike the people I've ever seen before in my life.
You have visited the abbey. See his lips furl a little bit. I hope you
It
didn't
is
mind the smell.
it is still good to see proper hospitality and glimpses of kindness in this place.
What did you make of the abbot? I'm curious.
Dedicated.
Incredibly handsome.
Esther goes. It's like, oh, that's for sure.
Oh my.
Goes with that saying.
I find him to be quite the odd creature, quite taken with his own whims and fancies.
Yes, he does seem to be caught in his own head about things.
Yes, it's quite off-putting, his obsessive nature with his faith. But one must bear a certain respect for his sheer depth of his dedication.
Yeah, so quite a lot of perseverance, and, again, his devotedness is admirable. We had heard that he'd bragged about perfecting somebody named Cyrus. Have you heard about this perfection?
Ludmilla laughs. Perfection? Would hardly call him perfection. If I had my chance to operate on him, perhaps I could improve him. But Strahd goes, where did you hear a rumor like that?
Oh, one of the family members had heard that because he had been perfected, that only the most perfect of things gets sent to Strahd. But it's, yes, if it's untrue and merely a rumor, wishful thinking even. So good to get that cleared up.
That ridiculous abbot offered me a bride of all things, and offered Cyrus as a wedding gift. But he was still a mongrel, not perfected.
Was a mongrel?
He still is a mongrel.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he is...
What tales of that abbot has been spinning?
Mostly seems that he thought he gave you a great gift, but perhaps being the creator, he was blinded to his own flaws.
Astraza goes, from what I tell, she's not even that pretty. Couldn't find the right parts, I heard.
Yeah, she is still quite new and naive. Currently doing lessons?
Well, that could take years.
But imagine if it took mere weeks. She would be... Oh, what's the word? She would be somebody who could excel at these kind of things. A lot quicker than normal. That's something to say.
Perfection does take time, and what is time to this court?
Indeed. Kind of looks, and Straza kind of like sips at her wine. Kind of an awkward silence. Straza's just waiting there patiently.
Minerva will be like, what did all of you notice in our travels?
Thanks, Minerva. Well, quite a variety of customs and cultures between the towns.
Strahd goes, it's like, oh yes, the people of Barovia come from all over the old land. Quite a diverse group of individuals. And
Yes.
Straza will go, more cultured than the ones that came before them. Ah, the savage brutes.
Oh yes. Well, they're gone, aren't they?
Strahd goes, as you were made well aware at Yestra Hill, their descendants still remain, but they lack many of their ancestors' skills. Have none of their ancestors' grace and little of their wisdom. Their fanaticism, though flattering, occasionally leaves an unpleasant taste in one's mouth. A lord who revels in worship is a fool, not a god. Strahd turns to Lamilla and goes, but, Lamilla dear, I don't blame you for trying to ally with them. A failure as it was. He kind of rubs his hand against his chest as if he's kind of bored of that conversation. But Lamilla goes, I'm sorry it didn't please you, my lord. She kind of eyes the group.
Slight smile.
After a little bit of small talk, Sasha and Valenta does appear. Once again, two mops in a bucket filled with soapy water. She goes, ah. But Valenta goes, I was like, ah, that guy smells like dog. She just starts the process of cleaning the blood off the floor, which now you do notice that is indeed blood.
Dog? I did not know you had a pet.
She goes, that disgusting mongrel creature.
Ah, right.
But Strahd goes, but he's quite the useful servant. The castle has been in such disarray for the past century that he has taken upon himself to help clean the place up a little bit. But he kind of eyes around, looks at all the cobwebs. Though I see he still hasn't gotten around to much.
It is a big castle, and this is an entryway. Probably figured to start on the common interior areas. Not the worst of ideas.
One can only do so much alone, present company excluded.
Another awkward silence as Strahd, hand behind his back, just kind of patiently waits.
So, I hear you're a vampire.
Is he looking at us or is he looking at the cleaning crew?
He's just kind of glancing. Yeah, he kind of eyes the people like cleaning right in front of him.
So, you mentioned work?
What are you referring to? I forget.
When he first arrived, they were saying that they hoped that the noise wasn't disturbing his work.
He goes, "Don't you mind about that private affair?"
Sorry to intrude.
It is up on cue. Rahadin will see him open the dining room doors, come out through it, and he approaches everyone and goes, "Dinner is served." And Strahd claps a hand. "Oh, excellent. You would follow me, please." You'll just walk right past Blent and Sasha, who are on their knees cleaning.
So tempted to spill more wine.
Valenta will just make Sasha clean up.
That's fair.
Hey, you may want to get out of here while so they don't get annoyed with you. I just casually suggesting to the servant there that
It's just standing there the whole time, not doing anything.
yeah, he's probably too afraid to move.
Yeah, he hasn't moved.
I give you permission to leave.
Still doesn't move. But everyone give me a perception check as you pass by.
Oh, I'm great at these.
13 Grude.
8.
19.
23.
Ooh. Well, you've got
Minerva,
glasses on, so you're cheating.
Minerva and Vio, as you pass by Sasha, you can see that she kind of turns her eyes towards you through her veil, and you see a look of worry in her eyes.
I assume that I could also tell that Vio also saw it, then I think give a knowing nod to him, and then...
Yeah. Onward after Strahd.
Okay, yeah, you just pass by. Ludmilla, Estrah, and Esther, though, don't follow. They stay behind, and they actually start climbing the stairs. Obviously not invited. It's a private affair.
Oh no, how awful. Ah.
But well, Sasha kind of like gave you a glance as you pass by. Valenta definitely gives you the evil eye.
Starting to think it's not her then.
No, it's close by. Good.
Yeah, oh well.
Oh, that is a weird forced perspective on that harpsichord.
Yeah. Took me a second to be like, yeah, this is gonna freak out those people that have the
Oh, that whole
eating
thing?
circles phobia. Yeah.
Honeycomb big, yeah.
All right, everybody, take a seat.
Three enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminate this magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls, supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table is covered with a fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods. Roasted beasts based with a savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you with a fine, delicate china and silver. At each place is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid with a delicate, tantalizing fragrance. At the center of the far wall, between the floor-to-ceiling mirrors, stands... Sorry. Yeah, put you all in the proper chairs. At the center of the far wall, between floor-to-ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ. Its pipes blare out a thunderous melody. Right, no one's at the organ.
Dude,
Right, well, we can see it, so...
Yeah. In the book, like, Strahd is here, rocking out at the organ, but...
say Freebird, woo!
But Strahd will take a seat at the head of the table. And do you guys want to continue? It's getting a little late. Shall we continue this next time?
This would be a good time to stop, just because sickness
Yeah.
is making me a little, I guess, brain foggy.
Honestly, if you did custom thumbnails, this would be a perfect one.
Oh, everyone's seated at the table.
Yeah.
Well, sorry I didn't commission the entire environment.
Just zoom
Yeah,
in,
it's
zoom in
fine.
on the table. Zoom in on the table, and just put the avatars positioned correctly.
And we're just having a really nice dinner. Nothing weird is happening.
And no family squabbles.
Or has happened.
Right.
You can use my Grude image that has definitely is painted over art.
It's fine.
But Strahd will say, please, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll call for tonight.
Progress.
So what I wanted to do after when she was splashing stuff on there, prestidigitation would have been great because it'd be like, don't worry, we could just right away clean it up. No. What I wanted to do was just take my wine and splash it over her too, and just be like, well, they gotta be mad at me too.
He missed a spot.
This is what...
Yeah. I actually said that whole thing about like, oh, we won't be able to eat if you kill somebody in front of us, but my mic was off. And it was really quickly I had to turn it on and be like, oh, before she kills him, and then so I said it twice.
That was good quick thinking though. I was like, what? Vogelsuch isn't gonna say anything, like what
Yeah,
else?
Steph looked at me and I'm like, I have no idea.
I was so tempted to add into their caterwauling, but
Because the thing is, Sam couldn't tell that my mic wasn't picking it up because she just hears it because we're in the room together.
Yeah. What would you have done if I did that, Joey? If I splashed my wine all over her too? What would you have done?
You would have made an enemy, I think.
Yeah, what would she have done? Like, she can't kill me. Like, that Strahd's not going to let her do that.
She would probably turn her attention to you.
It seems like it would have worked, but also it's not hospitality to throw food on a person. So I could see you being in Strahd's bad books long term.
I would have played it off as like, I thought that was customary here.
So here's actually what would have happened, as you would have... I mean, depending on what you'd done, but Rahadin would intervene, try to kind of hold you back before you did anything. Like, so, you're a guest in Strahd's home.
yeah.
Not enough time for me to just splash water. I also had a thing of holy water. I couldn't really do anything with that. I wasn't. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that out.
I can get that. I can clean this out for you. Get a special solution.
Yeah, flip, flip. The burning means it's working.
I was tempted with all what was her name again? The one from the Druid Hill.
Ludmilla.
Lamilla.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was her. I was so tempted with all of the jabs at her. It's like when she ended up this was one of her or she ended up working on improving this servant of ours and all this. I just so wanted to say, well, maybe one day you'll be successful at something.
Don't be afraid to don't be afraid to do stuff like that.
We're in Strahd's castle talking with his wives. We are gonna be afraid, Joey.
Yeah. All right. I do not want to fully annoy somebody that that in status effects.
It would be really funny if she like threw status effects at us, like during dinner, like if we were all eating together and we were all just like throwing buffs and status
now we're
effects.
Constitution.
Now we're glued to to the chair.
Oh yeah, the grease spell, or the web entrapment. But
What if you
instead of like,
sat down, you put the grease spell on Strahd's chair, and he slipped and fell?
because yeah, it's just instead of kicking each other into the table, we're just using like weird spells on each other.
Yeah. Druid craft, making flowers appear.
Oh, magic mouth.
I
That's a
think
fun
I actually
one.
have that. One second.
think
I
you said
do.
magic- Yeah.
Harmless sensory effects.
Minerva idly kicks something underneath the table, and then suddenly a flamethrower bursts out at the opposing chair.
I thought we were having roast pig, and takes the flamethrower out.
I swap out like one of the salad dressings with my Tasha's caustic brew.
That's kind of a character I want to do. I want to do a like a chef, and the theming of all the spells would be, you know, kind of you pick ones that you can theme up around food, like Tasha's caustic brew.
Yeah.
Like heroes feasts and whatnot, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have as much fun with it as like an alchemist does.
Yeah.
I think like when they're all waiting around, it says like Strahd makes small talk, but I'm like, that's what he's gonna do during dinner, you know? He's waiting for like the actual dinner to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, he was just waiting for his servants and stuff to get stuff ready.
I thought it was gonna take us like all the way through the castle, and nope, the dining room's right over there. 2 rooms down.
Well, when he's serving guests.
They just bring a table into the foyer.
Yeah. It's a little fold-out table. And there's a kid's table. That one's for you.
Vogelsuch is at the kids' table.
Yeah, on a little stool.
Yeah.
We did manage to figure out that Cyrus is still alive, and possibly not in the castle. Like, it seems like he was turned away, maybe, but he's probably somewhere in the castle, like, where he puts things he doesn't care about.
Oh, no, he, you got that he's in the castle, that he's a servant.
Yeah, he's just not as good a gift as they expected him to be. But that's why I asked, like, if you have a pet or something, and their indication. So it sounds like they may have even asked him where the mop was and stuff, or that he was near where they ended up getting it from.
Yeah, he was somewhere downstairs. Where all the servants are.
I was hoping they were referring to the husband, but that's good enough, I guess.
You don't know what? Oh, husband.
But the puppy, or the werewolf.
Okay, yeah.
You mean the good boy? Who's a good boy?
And they said it smelled like dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's the werewolf's name? Emil. Emil's his name. Now, as you're having dinner, let's flash back to Vallaki, where Esmeralda is teaching Irina some sword play. It's like, no, you got to stand so wrong. You got to have some bravo. Puts her hand on her hip and her rapier outstretched. It's like, so, like this? It's like, oh, no, and like she grabs her hand. It's like no, put it like hip like this.
Not the blade. Hold it by the handle, not by the blade.
They have some apples on the gravestone in the graveyard. They're practicing seeing if she can skewer it.
Yum, grave apples.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Thanks,
It's got a bit
Joey.
of apple on your lips.
Thanks, Joey. We did it.
It was a good tense scene actually in the foyer there. I really didn't know where I was gonna go, and I was real like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to do like quick acting things like that.
You had a
Yeah.
bunch of NPCs to deal with too.
Yeah.
Like
With the scene, I can fully understand if you pull in a second DM simply just to pass on some of these NPCs.
well, I'm glad they're all not at dinner.
Yeah.
So, because at first I thought they were all there.
Yeah, I was like,
No, this is a private dinner for you guys, not people he sees every day.
How romantic.
Yeah.
I've been preparing all week for this. I had work on. Like Strahd has been preparing all week for this.
Yeah.
I want to be perfect. And
I've
he
suffered
has
in
somebody
front
else
of-
at the table. Somebody else cooks the dinner. Somebody else. He probably just was like, "What's your best thing that you got on the menu? Let's go with that."
He's definitely looking forward to it, though. That guy is, like, wicked lonely and, like, very much hates being where he is.
Yeah, I wonder what he's
Yeah.
doing upstairs. He was just sitting in a room. It's like,
Are they
you can
there
do
yet?
this, Strahd. You can do this.
You can impress
Alright.
them.
they'll
Hang
they'll
Strahd.
like you for you.
A few hours earlier, he was in front of an oven with a chef hat on, a bite
It was
the
an easy
chef
bake oven.
apron.
I got this recipe from the hags at the windmill. I hope they enjoy it.
For dessert,
game.
I have these, oh my god, instead of a dream pastry, but he just changes the words a bit.
Legally distinct
Oh,
cream
he
pastry.
has little
cream pastry.
he
a
makes
cream
He makes little gingerbread men, but they have little vampire
vampire teeth.
vampire teeth.
This is better than I was thinking. Is it? Oh, a dream.
I
of a
made
child.
I
Well,
made
I've got three
snickerdoodles.
children, so
I made snickerdoodles. Like little bats. Oh, they're just so cute.
In our other game, Strahd gave us 1,000 gold to get my character back to life. That's how nice he is.
Yeah, Strahd showed
only
back
need
up in
300.
our Vecna Ruin game.
Yeah.
And he's definitely in the I don't give a crap how I act towards you. Well, this Strahd is like being a gentleman at least.
Yeah. Playing the character's different, definitely.
playing the game. And as it showed earlier today, now somebody wants you to run it. That Vecna thing.
Not doing that. I did give him a link to our game, but I said it's not kind of the same. It's not the same
Right.
people mostly. It's like a little different feel. But I linked it to him. But I also gave him a link to a Vecna game my friend's in. So saying this one's more like our games. And actually,
How's that?
Mark, Monty, not Monty. Yeah, a Monty Fool, a voice of Quentin, is in that
Oh.
game. Yeah,
Sander, yeah.
he has inner moments. I'm pretty sure he's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
that
cool.
it's that group of voice actors. They're D&D.
That's right. They played D&D, and they were obviously they're actors, and they could get into roles. That's cool.
Yeah, my friend Monty Glue, who's a
Friend who?
DM in some games in that Mad Mage game, is a player in that game.
What was the name?
Monty Glue,
Monty Glue. Yeah.
GLU.
That doesn't. Yeah, I still don't know it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna look it up.
No. I just want to know if it's something I was familiar with. or
No,
not.
she does.
I wasn't as famous as you, Joey.
She does a game called The Unexpectables, where a lot of those voice actors were in. All those like that friend group up in LA. Although she's in
What's that?
Canada, I think.
Yeah.
Canada?
Yep. She
No,
does a
Camp Canada.
she does a Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which just reached 90 episodes.
I mean,
Wow.
it's
Whoa.
a mega dungeon. It's a mega
Yeah.
dungeon, level 3 to 20. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one was designed for. I think it was intended to be used at like
5 to
conventions
20.
and stuff like that.
It was. I mean, it's a throwback to proper mega dungeons.
Yeah.
Think of it. Yeah. It's for the old. The old school players.
It's okay,
Yeah.
you don't have to say it.
The old school players that like that kind of.
The
thing.
Gygaxian era.
Yeah. Which is it's a tough thing to kind of like run or play.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's intended to be beat.
They haven't. No one's died yet.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
In that particular one, they took out all of the instant death stuff. There's no like set of two doorways where one of them will teleport you to the next room, the other disintegrates you. And from the other people's perspective, they don't know which one happened to you.
That's why you then,
They had some.
try to message them.
They had some close calls though.
Mhm.
I think if some dice rolls have been better on the DM's part and worse on the player's part, they might have like been disintegrated by a beholder at some point.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's basically true regardless.
Yeah.
Eventually, the dice favor somebody.
Yeah. Like when in the other game, when my character died, I had a saving throw, and we had 2 people try to counterspell, and all 3 of them failed. So
What rotten
nice
luck.
work. It's okay actually. I had a ring of mind shielding, so the character's soul goes into that when you die. It's part of the magic, the thing. I just luckily had that. I wasn't even looking for it for that. And now that the DM has basically given me a sort of like a revival sort of thing, and a Gandalf the White, Moses from the Mountain kind of thing. So it actually got my head back into the character. I was having trouble with him being like an evil character, and now it's kind of like helped me focus on that, at least for the last game. Sometimes it's what you need. You need a character to die.
Mine was the opposite. When my character came back, I had a harder time playing him.
But you got a voice right away. Bleh,
Blah.
bleh.
Alright, thanks everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Should be good next week.
Have fun.
Yep.
Yay.
Next week's good. Bleh.